Welcome to Online Marketing That Makes Sense. I'm your host today, Patrick O'Brien, and this is a marketing podcast packed with social media strategies, productivity tips, traffic growth hacks, marketing truths, and inspirational stories that will help you design your dream business to impact more of the people you feel called to serve. Whether you're a dreamer, have a side hustle, or are looking to take your business to the next level, you're in the right place. Tune in and get inspired. All right, my friends. Today's episode, we're going to talk a little bit about some strategies to becoming more successful in your business and in your life in general. And so, have you ever just thought about and wondered to yourself, hey, that person, they're real successful. That must have just been accidental. Have you ever thought about people who just accidentally become successful? Maybe they had like no followers on social media, and then all of a sudden they have 100,000, 500,000, a million, and everybody wants to be on their channel and get their attention, right? Accidental success is actually a myth. That's not how it works. Somebody who even inherits a business or inherits something given to them, passed down by maybe a family member or a friend, they're still not accidentally being successful. That success came on the backs of somebody who worked hard and somebody who knew what to do. So let's talk about that for a minute when it comes to success. Now, you might have heard this before, the idea that success leaves clues. People by nature have patterns. There's patterns. And we have to recognize those patterns in any niche, in any area of our life, in any business, and recognize what those patterns are, and then begin to implement them and model them in our own life. Being successful as an entrepreneur isn't simply having the best marketing strategy or the best technique or the best social media post or the largest following. Being successful as an entrepreneur is learning how to be resourceful, learning how to leverage what you have and turn that into an offer or into a way of generating profit into your business, right? And so let's look at this. When we come to the point of, okay, I want to be more successful as an entrepreneur, you're going to need a few things from the beginning. You're going to need, one, is to find somebody to model. Find somebody, not copy, right? You're not going to copy every word and everything they're doing, but you're going to want to model it. Because again, success leaves clues. There are patterns that all the people who are successful are doing to get to where they are. They're not just waking up in the morning and hoping they figure it out that day, and then eventually they had enough of those mornings where they figured it out and they reached some level of success. That's not how it works. They were intentional about creating the right habits, the right structure, and having the discipline to do those same things over and over and over again, creating consistency until they got the results that they knew they could get by doing that thing. And so that's what we want to look at. So first, to becoming successful as an entrepreneur, find a mentor. There are many different people that are saying the exact same stuff as far as marketing strategies, tips and tricks to grow an audience, tips and tricks to do a launch for a course or a membership, retention, how to build a community, how to get leads on Facebook, how to run Facebook and meta ads, all the things, right? There's a ton of people telling you the same stuff. But the important thing is that you need to find somebody that you can resonate with. Maybe you resonate with their vision, their mission, their story, their personality, the things they like to talk about. Those are the things that are going to be important. Find somebody that you can listen to. Don't find somebody who's monotone and has no personality when they speak. That's so boring, right? Find somebody that you're like, man, I got to wake up and check out what Patrick's doing on the Online Marketing That Makes Sense podcast, right? Or whatever it is that you're listening to. Find that person that you can listen to, okay? You're going to want to find a mentor. And you're going to want to find somebody that you can begin to model. Don't find 50 mentors and try to do everything they all do. It doesn't mean you can't read their books. You should read other people's books, and we'll get to that in a minute. But find somebody that you're going to model what they teach. Find somebody that you're going to do the strategies that they said and get success by doing that first. And then you can become, you can expand out and become, you can try more things, right? So that's how we want to look at that. Find a mentor first. The next thing, as far as becoming successful, is I'm going to give you a little secret. Buy their book. Buy their book. The reason being is a lot of the big time people in marketing in any field, okay, when they write a book, they're putting everything into it. They're literally putting all their secrets in the book. I remember the first time I heard somebody tell me this same exact thing many years ago. And it was like a light bulb went off in my head because, everybody's got $1,000 course, $500 course, $2,000 course, $5,000 courses, right? $10,000 coaching programs and all these things. And I remember thinking early on, like, man, I don't have the money to do that. Like, what? Right? And now, of course, with a lot of that stuff, there's things like community experience, accountability, and all the stuff that you get with that. But as far as just having the strategies, the simple strategies, the tips, the things you need to be working on, right? Those are in their books. They wrote them in their books. That $3,000 course, well, what they would teach in that course is in their book. Okay? So go find that mentor and buy their books. See what they have to say. Read their book, study their book, and do what they say in their book. So that's a huge clue. Anybody who's struggling with trying to get to the, scale their business and become more successful or just trying to figure out what to do, find a mentor in that space and read their book. Buy their book and read it. It's not a scam. I know many of the books are like $15, $20. Some are $30. Buy the book, okay? It'll be the best investment you make in your business when you do that. And make the time to read it. That means if you got to wake up an extra 15 minutes to read a chapter or a page or two, do that. It's going to be worth it in the long run. So find a mentor first and foremost. Listen to them. Watch their podcasts. Model what they're doing on social media, model what they're doing on their YouTube channel or on their Pinterest or on their website. Model those things. Buy their book and listen to them. Okay, so remember, success leaves clues. There are patterns to becoming successful, and they have various variations for depending on what niche or what market you're serving, but nonetheless, there's going to be some principles that are always the same. They're always going to incorporate some level of consistency, and that's the next thing. When it comes to being successful, you need to develop consistency. To help you develop consistency, come up with a plan, right? A business plan. We're not talking something from Harvard or needing to have gone to college to become, getting your MBA and all these things. You don't need any of that. You can be much more successful than most of those people are anyway if you just come up with a plan in your online marketing. Okay, that means a publishing plan, right? As an online marketer, you have an obligation and a responsibility now to be seen and to be heard by others. And the way you do that is by publishing content. Whether that's a podcast, a YouTube channel, a video, on Instagram, a few posts on social media, what have you. Whatever you start with, start somewhere, start now, start today. When you're done listening to this podcast, create yourself a publishing plan. What are you going to need to talk about? What are you going to need to post? Those are going to be important things that you can do. We talked about that in a recent live inside of our Facebook group. If you're not in our Facebook group, go check it out. Online Marketing That Makes Sense. I'll throw a link somewhere around this episode so you can grab that. But there's some important things that you can do to create consistency. Coming up with a publishing plan for yourself is going to be huge. Knowing what you're going to talk about that day or those days or what you're going to be posting that week is huge because it's going to help you know where you're going with your discussion. It's going to help you know what's got to be done that week. And then as an extra little bonus here, you're going to want to batch your content. Okay. In the beginning, you might have to get scrappy and you're just kind of, working at it, but eventually get to a point where you can batch. Record a couple podcasts at the same time, create your other content. And eventually you're going to have an entire library of content. Okay. That's going to help people get to know you, get to like you, and get to trust you the more you put out. So you have to publish and you have to do it consistently. Otherwise people aren't going to trust you, right? We want to build trust because people buy from people. They don't buy just stuff and they don't buy from brands. They buy from people. Think about some of the most famous and awesome entrepreneurs that are out there that are in online marketing. You know them by their name and you buy from them because of who they are, not necessarily what they have. So you know they're a person. And then you're not even buying the thing still. You're buying the transformation. You're not buying the product. Oh, I bought the course. No, you're buying what that course or that membership or what that product offers you, the transformation it offers you. You're buying the end result. And you're trusting that person that you're buying from to help you with that thing that you bought to get you from where you are to where you want to be. That's the secret sauce when it comes to consistency. Okay? So you found a mentor, you found their books, you bought their books, you studied their books, you read them a couple times, you took your notes, you applied what you learned, and then you started to get consistent with your publishing online. You pick a platform, pick a model that you want to use for publishing. Super easy to start a podcast, super easy to do anything online. Okay. Just get started. Just get started. Now, word of wisdom. When you get started online, you are not going to have a million people want to follow you all at once. If you're reviving a page or starting a new page, you're not going to have a ton of people engaging on your post. Even with people on like Instagram or Facebook that have like 150, 200,000, a million followers, when they go live, they get like 10 people, 100 people, sometimes 200, depends on their channel, right? There's a limit to how many people are really going to see there and watch things live and engage with things, and it increases a little bit over time. What you need to do is you're creating a history of consistency. That's what you need to remember in your publishing. You're creating a consistency of history, right? Or a history of consistency. Meaning, when people come find you, they can just go through all your stuff from weeks, months, and years past because you have so much valuable. That's going to show authority in your space because you are talking about so many different subjects and things when it comes to your particular market, right? So be consistent in that and what you're doing. And don't get the wrong idea that because nobody's listening and engaging that first week, that first month, or that first couple months, that you're going to fail. That's not how this works. The online marketing world and the algorithms take a little bit of time to gain some traction. Okay. So now let's talk about another type of success that we need to, or a strategy that we can use to become more successful. Okay. I want you to take note of the things that you allow to influence you. Now, this is probably a little bit more of a personal thing, so if you'll allow me, let's look at this a little bit. Examine the people that you allow in your life to speak things into your life. Encouragement, negativity, what are they doing? You need to take a look at the things around you. Are you watching the news all the time? Are you watching the bad shows that are filled with negativity and murder and all these other things? Like, you need to take inventory of the thoughts that you allow to come into your head. And this is important because as an entrepreneur, if you're allowing bad things all the time, you're going to have a negative mindset, negative outlook, and you're not going to come across encouraging, inspirational, and educational in your content and in your messaging. Okay. And besides, you don't have time to be consuming yourself with things that are drama, okay? So most of the successful people that you'll see in their life, they spend their time on the things that are going to help other people and that are going to help them to move in the right direction. Don't dwell on the past. Don't think about, oh, that mistake happened or I failed here. Start thinking with the mindset of, what can I do to change this? What can I do to shift this and to being useful for me? Okay. Listen, when you're working, you're going to work hard at the right thing. But sometimes when you're working, that work is not seemingly going to get you anywhere, but it is still working on you. The work that you're doing is still working on you. It's shaping you. It's helping you to be able to speak better, more fluently, more accurately, and to be able to communicate your message with your audience specifically, okay, in the way that they can understand it and are ready to hear it. So don't just assume that because you're not getting the results that you think you should be getting, or the results that other people are getting when they do the thing, that yours is not working. It's working on you at that point, and eventually it'll begin to work for you. All the publishing posts that you make and the content you make on social media will always be there for you to recycle in your content, or will always be there for SEO purposes if you're on more long form places like blogs and YouTube and Pinterest and other things like that. All right, my friends. So those are just a few clues. There are many more clues that become successful in your business that you can be following, but focus on those. Pick one or two of the few that we just mentioned today and go do those things. Make sure you're laser focused on following somebody who's a mentor. Get a business mentor, get a guide. All of the successful people who have scaled their businesses into the millions and millions have found people that they want to follow. Okay? Follow somebody who's done the thing. Follow them, buy their book, read their book, study it, implement what they say. Don't just learn all the time, actually live it, okay? Do the thing. Don't just learn, live it. Now, that's going to be a wrap up for today's episode. If you'll do me a favor, share this podcast, specifically this episode, if it was good. If you didn't like it, then don't share it. share another one. But share the episode with somebody that's starting a business, that's trying to revive a business, or that is a business owner. Help me to get these episodes out to more people to help encourage them and move forward in their business. People who are wanting to go from the 9-to-5 lifestyle, get out of that fixed income world of 9-to-5 where it limits everything you can do in your entire life and becomes very toxic in your relationships and in your life, and wants to move into an entrepreneurial world. Send them my way, and if we can help them, that'd be our goal. All right, my friends, continue to keep working on your businesses, and until next time, we'll talk again real soon.